What's up, guys, and welcome back for a solo Null-Sec episode. This one's going to start in Jita. I am going to be talking about kind of the logistical progress I've made in manufacturing and kind of what I'm, aiming to do here in the next few weeks and everything like that. So this is my main. This main sits in Jita and basically is like the procurement officer. So I put up buy orders here on the market, and then I just kind of, whatever I need, I make like a shopping list in Excel. Whatever I need in Null, I just kind of come over here, put in buy orders, and kind of just acquire things. And then eventually, whenever I get to a certain cubic meter, I send it out courier style to Null-Sec, and then kind of put it through the pipeline, which I'll kind of explain the life from like basically acquiring stuff all the way to like end product and what we're really kind of looking at. So right now I'm building, we're sending out a bunch of BPOs for stuff that we're going to be wanting to build, and also just acquiring data cores. And then I'll also be acquiring some Moon Goo, both in Null, and also fill in the gaps with buy orders here in Jita. And a lot of that has to do with doing reactions and doing inventions and everything. So I've had a lot of success in the past by building Sinos. I used to only build like the Venture Sino, but we're going to be going into doing Falcons. So that's why we have a Blackbird blueprint here. I also have a Badger blueprint because I personally use the Crane quite a bit, and I want to have the ability to build those myself. And then also just mobile tractor units. I want to be able to build these in case I just lose them or whatever the case may be. The reason I acquire alloy titanium or titanium bars is because they're not available in the Null-Sec region that I'm in. So I will just constantly be acquiring these and pretty much stick them in every courier contract that I really need to, kind of going forward. And then also with I picked up just Salvager blueprint wherever it is in here. Here it is, and I can invent this up to Tech 2, and that'll help me actually salvage stuff from rat sites, because we are making a few rigs here that are required, and that's why I have this stuff, because we want to be able to make these. These are, the small is for the Venture Sino, the medium is for the Crane fit, and then also a lot of this other stuff here is going to be essentially for the fits for those two different things. Expanded cargo holds, those will get invented up to Tech 2. EM shield amp, they'll get invented up to Tech 2 as well. And a lot of this other stuff is support pieces. This small tractor beam is actually going to be used to go into the mobile tractor unit stuff. And then we have this here. Interdiction nullifier, I usually use one of those on the Crane anyway. But like I said, all this other stuff here basically is the stuff that's required that goes into building the Tech 2 stuff. And right now that's what we're really kind of focusing on. Is I'm focusing on things that I actually do use, so I don't necessarily have to sell them, but that I can if I need to. So going through like the life cycle, like normally what happens is once these BPOs actually get to Null, then the Blackbird and the Badger, any BPO that's going to be invented up to make things, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy them, because we want to run copies for those inventions, get those kind of started, because the research level of the original BPO does not matter when you are inventing. It's the actual optional thing that you can put in to increase its ME and time efficiency and stuff like that. So usually when I come in, anything that I'm gonna run up to Tech 2, so probably these, and then also the afterburner, and then probably these as well here. And probably the salvager. All this stuff will get plugged into invention, or copy rather. I'll copy it for max run. I'll just do one copy, max runs, and then once that copy is done, I'll take the original BPO and stick it in research, usually mineral efficiency first, and then that's where it'll essentially live until we get 1020. So we want to max out the research, and while that's actually researching, we're just kind of eating away at those copies, those runs on that BPC, trying to get as many Tech 2 BPCs as we can get, so that we are ready to go whenever we need to. All this other stuff here will go straight into research. We want to make sure all this stuff is the highest research as possible, and then It's just about splitting it where everything needs to go. So for the structure that actually is in charge of doing research and things like that, all the BPOs will go in there. When they actually do become fully researched, then I move them to where we manufacture. And then the data cores here, they'll all hang out where we do invention as well. Mungu stays where we do reactions and everything like that. So this is really kind of what I'm looking at getting started here. A lot of this stuff is not going to see end product probably for like several months because of just research, but I'm trying to actually like get as many things kind of cooking as possible. I still have quite a bit on my to-do list as far as shopping goes. We are initially going to be aiming towards building jump freighters, and the next step is basically acquiring the stuff for the just the regular Charon, and essentially we're going to have to the Charon we're going to probably be buying the next couple of days because we're going to want that BPO to be put into research pretty quick, and then all the subsequent support BPOs that go in with it. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. All right, over here in Null, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of stuff here already kind of working through. We have like pretty much every reaction out here that you can imagine, with the exception of biochemical, because biochemical is mainly for drug manufacturing, and those reactions are really, really expensive. I'll eventually get them, but I just want to get absolutely every other component and thing like that going. And then we have the venture there, so we will eventually be inventing into endurance and prospect, but right now we're just kind of running ventures as we kind of get the materials. We have the R.D B stuff that we're just kind of running through. These are just like items that are required randomly by secondary and tertiary manufacturing steps, and then all the RAM stuff, which we'll be slowly researching as well, which is required in a lot of Tech 2 things. And then plasma thruster, I already have that out here. That goes into a lot of prop mods and stuff like that. And then we have the fuel block stuff, nanite repair paste. We're already kind of working on producing fuel blocks, so we've got quite a bit of stuff already kind of stockpiled here. We've already made a couple of runs. I'm waiting on the other isotope to get here so I can I can make the fourth fuel block. But these fuel blocks will eventually go over to where we're doing reactions, and we'll start running through that stuff. So we have a good amount of ice product. We are still making mechanical parts because, you know, even if we don't make fuel blocks, mechanical parts are a really great income. And then every other type of P1 is slowly starting to build up. And then when we do require the certain Tech 2, Tech 3, Tech 4 PI components, we will have a good stockpile of stuff. And what I'll do is I'll probably just have a new character come out here with 6 bare planets, and we'll just kind of build process planets that can be changed up depending on whatever we're doing. And then we're probably going to start Mercoxis mining too to get our morphite up, because we'll need a lot of morphite for Tech 2 manufacturing and everything. Other than that, everything else, ratting, we're basically salvaging and melting down all rat loot, and that all comes in as just raw minerals that helps us build ventures, things like that. The character that's in the solo mining series, everything that character is going to be mining will make it out here. It'll get melted down and used for manufacturing as well. Now, one of the big focuses here for this character is actually getting all the slots available. So we need to get max manufacturing job slots, we need to get science jobs maxed out, and we need to get reactions maxed out. That way we can really start putting a lot going at the same time. We have 4 characters in Null, so we'll probably end up getting max slots on all of them, because we do have, like, you know, a lot of BPOs that need to be researched. So we want to make sure we're researching as many of them at the same time as possible. So over the next few episodes here, we'll be I'll continue kind of showing how everything is progressing. Probably the next day or so, I'll show you guys the initial reaction sets that we'll be doing, and then the invention stuff, and then we'll follow up on those inventions in later episodes, and we'll be able to see what was successful, and hopefully we'll be able to track kind of the Tech 2 BPC acquisition moving forward. And then next week we're going to probably lean in real heavy, and we're going to start working towards getting our Charon, our first Charon actually built. Now, with research being there, we're probably going to end up putting that BBC for mineral efficiency in for not probably not 30 days, probably significantly less. So I'll probably just try to like build it sometime next week when I can, because I need one locally just to move a lot of this stuff around when I'm acquiring like ice products and it refines. It gets really heavy and I have to move it over to different stations. So I might be spending a little bit more minerals on the first Charon we built, but once that first one is built, we'll put that BPO, which we still need to buy, back into research. Unless I can find a fully researched one that's not too crazy overpriced, that's kind of the plan. But if I can find that, then that's going to save us a load of time. But I think it's going to be very difficult to find a 1020 Charon BPO that's not, in the outskirts of wherever. Other than that, the jobs are running right now. We got core temperature regulator in here. It's got 28 days. We got some of the RDB stuff in here. It's about 8 days. Once we get more research slots, then we need to get the capital core temperature regulator out here as well, because I also am probably just going to be selling core temperature regulators just to help with like fun building and things like that. So hopefully this is the precedence of this series is exciting for anyone who wants to get into manufacturing or who wants to learn more or just see the progress and kind of see what all goes into it. So I'm excited. It's just there's a lot of things that have to be kind of acquired and moved around. Logistically, it's kind of just a waiting game on most cases. But today I started off mining in high-sec, did quite a bit there. And then once my PI planets were ready to go, I went and reset all those. Today was the day I picked up everything and got it all back to the engineering complex. And then we're just feeding the process planets. Because right now we're focusing on enriched uranium. We're focused on robotics and coolant. And that way we're going to be, next few days, we're going to be getting as many of those fuel blocks made as possible across all the 4 different types. And then get that moon goo in here, get those data cores up in there, and really just start, turning on a lot of this stuff and everything. So it's really exciting. I probably in this series won't show too much of the moon mining process or the ice mining process or the Mercoxis process. I think that it's probably easier for me to just acquire goo both locally and Null-Sec and also on the market. I think probably the only thing I'll go out of my way to go out and actually mine is probably Mercoxis. Theoretically, I could just take my fleet miners out and do a bunch of ice and a bunch of moon, but I think that I kind of just value my time more, and I'm just going to probably, be acquiring that stuff. That way I can spend time doing other things. I got 2 more characters that need to get out to Null. That is 12 more planets for PI, so we'll be setting up process planets for a bunch of stuff there. And I really won't know what I'll be setting up as far as additional P2, P3, P4 until I really start focusing down on certain things. Our biggest goal right now is just to get everything into research, get everything to the best that it can be, and hopefully start churning out some of these Sino parts and these Sino ships and everything, and just kind of get the whole operation moving as smoothly as possible. We are also at the mercy of just skills as well. I'm trying to avoid doing any injection because it's just, these characters are still at the point where injections aren't necessarily a bad idea, but I probably have like 1 more round of injections before those characters get to the point SP wise that it makes no sense for them to ever use one again. So I've really got to decide, how I spend this last kind of rotation through injectors, which it's probably going to end up being for these manufacturing, science, and research slots, because we're going to be wanting to do as many of those things as possible. But thank you for watching. Hope you guys are excited to help and watch me build jump freighters and capital ships and Tech 2 stuff. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, get that 1 mil SP from that referral link in the description. That also helps fuel these videos and all these things we're doing. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.